Live?
Cool. We're live.
Cool.
We up in here.
Leaning Kev.
I'm leaving.
I'm leaning.
We're also live. We recorded that live.
Lean on me.
I'll keep my eye on the clock and I'll just
So have we got a name for this yet?
a 98 podcast. And Kev will do like an intro and everything else and we'll
98
Podcast.
podcast.
You're listening to 98 Podcast.
we're gonna use that.
Are you ready?
Yep.
You gotta get a brand mention for Mount Franklin.
Great sponsors. You got pros in, lads.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome back, guys, to the 98 podcast. This is number 2 of our podcast so far, and today we've got a couple of guys you might know.
Number 2.
Number 2, Tom and George Burgess. How are you?
Hi guys.
Very good. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, lads. I'm glad we are on the number 2 one, not the number 1. A bit of pressure that one.
Yeah, we've got a bit of practice in, we're good to go.
Get that one out of the way.
So I thought we'd start this off with what's been happening this week. You guys are just coming back or going back to training, yeah? So
Yeah.
you tell us pre-season what's been happening.
Yeah, well, me and Tom, we just started back in January because we had the internationals back in England against New Zealand. So we've had a bit of a delayed start to our pre-season. So they've just been getting us back into it, you know, building up the Ks in the legs and not pushing us in the deep end too early, which is good.
Yeah, the boys obviously been back training since November, so they're looking fit out there. So we just they're just drip feeding us, just being smart and modifying our sessions. But it's been good. We've just been, like I said, just been doing a bit of running, but we're both pretty much back into full training now.
Yeah.
But it is really good. Jared Wade is ahead of performance this year. He's stepped up into that role with Paul Devlin leaving. So, but he's really good at, you know, modifying your training to you as a unique person. So, like, you know, us being bigger blokes, we changes our training a little bit, and it helps that we're identical twins. Probably makes it easier for him because we're pretty similar in bodies and we do the same sort of stuff. But
That's good. We've been doing a bit of gymnastics as well in between our field sessions.
Yeah.
Just to kind of work on our.
What does gymnastics look for guys that are 130 kilos?
Yeah, it's just a lot of, you know, moving your body, keeping everything tight,
Yeah.
you know, and bouncing, you know, stabilising your body in the air, pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of balance work.
yeah, it's been good the first few weeks. Everyone's been on school holidays, so there's been no kids there.
Yeah.
But this week it was the first time that the little girls were there and make us look silly. These little girls were running around and doing all these moves that we couldn't dream of. But yeah, it's just on the bouncy floor, getting moving, a bit more load off the legs.
Yeah.
Good for stabilising your muscles and
But
all
yeah.
your joints.
Getting us on the balance beams, that's a fun.
Yeah.
That's a fun bit. Get on the balance beams and pass the ball.
Yeah.
And we're all over the shop.
And just quickly, you guys want to go through. So there might be people listening who have no idea what NRL is. They may be those AFL fans. So where did you guys start? I know there's 4 of you that have played, that are playing. So like, if we go through like a Regis Digest version of your football career.
Quick run through.
Yeah.
Well, basically, all hail from the north of England.
Oi.
Four brothers all play rugby league. Luke, Sam, Tom, and George. Me and George are the youngest ones, twins. And then there's Sam and Luke. 5 years between us all, but we all grew up playing. Our father played, even our mum played growing up, so we were pretty much destined to go down that track and sort of saw older brothers, you know, doing well in their rugby, and we sort of pursued it. And
all started our careers in England in the Super League, and then one by one we all kind of made the move over to Sydney, Australia, and Sam came first, 2010. Then I was the next 11, and Luke midway through 2011, and Tom came at the end of 2012. So we've all been here now for a good 6 or 7 years, and just taking over Sydney pretty much now.
Yeah, we call it our home now, along with Fezzi.
Yeah.
We all emigrated out here, and it's good.
Yeah, it was lucky we kind of moved here around a similar time to Chris, and
Yeah.
and yeah, it was great to have friends from back home moving over here at the same time and helping each other with the migration.
Yeah.
It was a great time for us all, I reckon. We had a good start over here. Do you feel like it were a big change going from playing? Like what, like how you're saying, oh, we're doing some gymnastics today and this and that. Big change from sort of training in Bradford to coming over here and training, the lads.
Yeah, I think as we've gone on as well with time, that the time, that sort of people are changing in the way that they approach training as well. But yeah, I think there's definitely a bit of a mindset is different over here with training, especially in the pre-season, because in England it's middle of winter and freezing.
Opposite seasons in pre-seasons, so it's just total opposite ends of the spectrum with the weather and what you can do on the field. It just makes a difference.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor in training and the standard over here is probably a bit like, I think the NRL's now probably one of the tightest competitions I've seen. Like last year, the top 8 was split by 2 points. So I'm not sure where you see that in other competitions. So.
Well, we were talking about that last year. Like it was hard in the first few weeks to even I mean, what was who was it the Warriors that stood up straight away last year?
Yeah.
Even which game did we went and see at Homebush? Olympic Park. Yeah. Were you guys playing the Roosters as well?
Yeah.
It was tight the whole way through.
That's it. I mean, one game, one more win, and we would have been first.
Yeah.
One more loss, we might have been out of the top 8. So that's how close it was last year, and a lot of it came down to the positioning, came down to how many tries you scored and how many you let in, and that's how important it is now. The defence and attack, a very big part of it.
I mean, interesting to see, because you guys are so big. You hear that?
Yeah, I think you just moved. There you go.
Good.
Correct.
We can cut that out. It's not a big deal. Make sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can just look at the video when your head comes in.
I know it'll be there. We'll just cut it out. Sorry.
Yeah, I was quite interested to know how it may have changed in terms of the way the game's played, because you guys, 130 kilos, the pace has changed. What's it different? Because I know we talked to Trent last week about it, and Fev was saying the same thing, and how Super League may be different from the way NRL's play. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. In the time that I've been in Australia, the game's definitely transformed from being a game where you had 12 interchanges to now it's 10 to 8, which is a big impact on the big men like us. You have to stretch out your times that you play, and the rotations definitely have to change a lot. So it does change the game a little bit, and I think it's probably a difference to the Super League is there's a lot more big men playing, and there's a lot more emphasis on attack and getting the roll forward and stuff like that. But I think there's a lot more defence, attack. More than attack in the NRL. It's definitely more attention on the defence, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we've just had to adapt as players, and as bigger men, we just got to keep working on our fitness and movement, and I feeling all right, feeling good still. Probably played at about 125 last year. All year, and we didn't miss any games. I'm playing big minutes stuff, but me and George started nearly every game, and I'll play probably the first 30. George will play the first 20, and then he'll come back on for me when I come off.
Yeah,
and that's how we were working it. But I'm not sure how we're going to do it this year. They might work out a way of being a bit more, what's the word? Better efficient, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I know Wayne likes to use his bench a bit differently, so we'll see how that comes into it. But I mean, my weight will probably come down a little. I think I'm weighing about 127, 28 at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll keep coming down as we get into the season.
The difference between, obviously you changed coaches this year, and you guys have played under Wayne before with England.
Yeah.
Like, and I was lucky enough to have a little bit to do with him a few years ago. He's one of the best mentors, one of the best coaches. He can reach anyone. He's quite a really smart guy. Are you excited about that? That must be something interesting.
Yeah, mate. He's just an unbelievable person. Like, he's got great people skills. His experience over the years he's been coaching is just invaluable. And he's probably dealt with every type of player that you can think of, and he just knows players' ways. He knows how to coach the best out of a player, and that's probably his best quality. He can turn someone who's a bit dipped in form. He can turn them into the best version of themselves.
Yeah,
and you've seen him do that with numerous players over the years and turn them around. So I think it's massive for a football team. And it's a good asset for us, definitely.
It's so funny, that obviously sometimes on Fox they do like days where they just play old games from different teams, and they have like a Rabbitohs day, like recently. But yesterday there was a Rabbitohs day, and there's Rabbitohs versus the Broncos, 1989, so 30 years ago. And Wayne's there and coaching Broncos.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
We were laughing last week when we were talking to Trent, and we were talking about Generation X, Y, Z, and whether or not there was that was the thing. He said that like Wayne's been through Generation A to Z, because he's that old. Mm. But is the way he coaches like you guys individually, the way he talks to you guys individually, is it different every single time, or do you notice that at all?
I think he's just adapted as he's gone through the generations. He's sort of adapted to how the game's changed.
Yeah.
But I think with Wayne, his style, I really like it. He's not massively into a lot of video, which is something that they probably didn't have available to him back years ago. Mm. He's more about traditional coaching, and he'll tell you on the run, like on the field, and that's his sort of thing. Like, he don't like to sit back and go through video with you after training, because he said there's no point. He said you're not going to learn. He said I want you to learn on the run. So he's really good. Like, and he'll bark at you on the field and tell you what you're doing wrong, and that means that he's got a care factor for you. He wants you to be better. So he's if he goes silent on you, that means you're worried a bit. If he's silent and he's not giving it to you on the field. So I mean that's and I like that about Wayne. I've really enjoyed working with him last couple of years with England, and I met him for the first time in the All Stars camp, and I just knew straight away he was a legend, and he's really improved my game personally in the last couple of years, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the team at South. And I know that just a lot of these younger players that we've got now are really going to benefit from his experience.
Yeah, definitely.
But he just sticks to his coaching, and let's see.
Hang on, fucking microphone.
Sorry, man.
It's all right.
That's all right, not your fault.
No, yeah, I need to get it to where it doesn't do that.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
You sure?
Yeah.
He just likes because he sticks to it. He's 14, and like sometimes coaches can get caught up with the performance and high performance and all that sort of stuff. But he lets the physios do their job.
Delegates really well.
Yeah. And that's what is good about him too. And the training on the paddock that we do is the most important thing really for him, and we get that done, and then the rest is down to you, and it's all modified to you.
That's pretty interesting, that, 'cause it's like similar to with the gym stuff, where like you open a gym, you run classes, you want to get people strong and fit, and then it's like, oh, maybe we should do yoga, or maybe we should open a physio, or maybe we should do this and this, and you tend to find like, actually, you know what, we'll just stick to what we're good at, and then you pick the people that are good at their job and get them on board, and as long as they're in the same sort of mindset, they fit well in the culture, you're laughing. I suppose like we have with Harriet, we have a nutritionist. Yeah. People ask us every day, what would you do? What should I eat here? What should I eat there? And you're like, you know what? We're not nutritionists. Speak to Harriet. She deals with all that stuff.
Yeah, just eat steak and that'd be fine. So just beforehand, who handed up here who's been a vegan before?
Yeah, I've been vegan.
All right, so we'll just cut that there.
Vegan, we called him.
I did it for 2 months. Probably lost about 12 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, you saw me when I was vegan, didn't you?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a bit gaunt. And,
Was there a
I
reason
was
for
very,
it?
very cut, like very
Yeah.
shredded, but I was probably lost a bit of size and didn't feel quite right.
Yeah. What was the reason for the vegan?
I was just experimenting really with my,
Was this
my body.
while you were? Was it pre, post, during season?
It was in pre-season, which would
Yeah.
probably made it a bit harder because
Yeah.
adapting to a new diet and then hard training in the middle of it probably wasn't. But I should have probably tried it in off season.
Yeah.
But it's a bit tempting in off season to stay away from all that
Yeah. Yeah.
good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I would try it again because I did feel like I was a lot healthier in vegan, but I'd probably introduce more meat like fish and stuff. And
Mm.
I still cut out dairy from my diet for a bit.
Yeah.
Since doing that.
What would your diet look like now? I'm sure people like you're saying, you're 125, 130 kilos running around on the field for 30 minutes and, at a time in a game and then running Ks after Ks on the field through the week. What would it look like like an average day, for example?
I suppose that, I mean, breakfast is important for us. Sometimes you wake up and you don't feel like you can't stomach a full, sort of breakfast, but we really need to get that in. So a lot of times I always have like eggs, and they actually encourage us to have bacon. It's like a fat, good fats.
Yeah.
So we have eggs and bacon, avocado, all that sort of stuff. I always have it in a wrap, easy to eat straight away, and then coffee. And then most days, well, every training day we have our lunches provided for us, and it's sort of different every day, but it's like a protein supplement and a carb as well. So it'd be like chicken and rice or vegetables, something like that.
What sort of calories do you reckon you're eating a day? Like, do you know what you're currently on?
I don't track calories as much, but I'd say over 3,000 at least.
Big training days, you have to eat a fair bit around training, or else you just.
You notice a difference when you don't?
Or else you end up overeating in the evening with your dinner.
Yeah.
Because you're too hungry because you need from training. So
I try to get the bulk of my food in around training.
Yeah.
Because I think my metabolism slows down through the day.
Mm.
From what I've learned, sort of thing. And try eat around most of my carbs around training, and then at night time I'll just have like protein and salad or protein and veg.
Yeah.
That's what I try to stick to in pre-season to get me down to the leanest it can be, because we have had our skin folds done every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And probably just still a touch high at the moment. Well, we're coming down, but we're about around 670 mils, I think it is, over 7 sites.
Yeah.
We are usually.
9, is it?
Is it? But we've got a nutritionist there at South. He's pretty good. Brian Pinto, he's called, and he works with Cricket Australia too, and a few other people. I think works for Rugby Union too. So he's really good. It just sort of it's more for the younger blokes. I think once you've played for a few years, you sort of get to know your body and what's good and what works. But it's just all about not eating
Crap.
Preparation's the main thing in it. Working out what you're going to eat, so you're not just last minute or sawdust minute.
Yeah.
Uber Eats is too easy these days to jump on if you've not sorted something out. So
you
just have to make sure you get a good shopping for the week and you got stuff ready to eat.
So I was lucky enough to hear Sam speak. Was it last year during our seminar, and he was good enough to talk about like childhood, how you guys grew up, and it sounded like quite a I guess you could look at it 2 ways: a tough time, but a time to a hard thing for you guys to go through. Would you say like your childhood and that sort of things built a bit of resilience, or did it shape who you are at a fairly young age?
Yeah, we had a great childhood. We very very great childhood. We spent most of our weekends down at the rugby club playing rugby and always there together. So
we've got fond memories, don't we? Like always, mum and dad sacrificed a lot to make sure we went on holidays, and every year we'd go down, like get in the car, all 6 of us, jump in the big 7-seater and drive down all the way through England.
Bit of camping.
Get on the ferry to France, and then drive all. But you know, as kids, you love it, don't you? As long as you're by the pool, playing with the ball, whatever. So we've got great memories, but obviously, yeah, what happened when we were sort of 14, 15 with our dad getting diagnosed with, you know, the motor neuron disease was something that sort of makes you realise, you know, not to worry about the simple, you know, the little things in life.
Yeah.
And he was really a motivated guy. And he really, you know, strong-minded, and he taught us a lot growing up that really stuck with us. And it's probably, you know, Luke and Sam probably passed a lot of that on to us as well as we were coming, you know, because when we were getting into it professionally, obviously our dad passed away, so we sort of turned to our brothers for guidance, and they were really good to us, like taught us about hard work, and not you know, you won't get anywhere without hard work, and that's one thing I think stuck with us. And you know, if you're willing to put in the work, then you can do anything, I think. And that's all it is, really. Like, you know, for four brothers, I think, to play a professional sport, you know, all at the highest level, is pretty, you know, it's a hard thing to do, I think, but it shows that it's just a mindset, I think. If you're willing to work hard, and, you know, anyone can do it, don't matter where you're from.
Yeah.
So, you know.
What about your mum? Like, she must be like one hard woman.
Yeah, well, she's just we get a lot of models from her. Like, she's a very hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, teaching. She's always she's been a teacher since uni, and she's taught in some of the roughest schools in north of England. And
She knows how to handle the naughty boys and just get them into line. So she had plenty of practice with us.
Yeah.
And she loves teaching, and she's done it for 30 years now. So
yeah,
she's very good at her job. But yeah, most of our early rugby memories as well are going to not watching my dad play or anything like that. It was watching my mum play.
Wow.
She played for the Birkenshire Dragons.
Yeah.
And she was their number 13, just legs tackler, just, you know, long striding runner. So we used to go down and support her every week as well, which was great memories. And
if you ever come to the games or and sit next to her, you have to put some earmuffs on or something, because she shouts.
I've watched.
She's very passionate, my mum, and that's what probably another thing we get from her. You know, passion and love for the game. She's just always loved it. I think even when my dad was playing, she'd go to every game, and I think he was trying to, you know, promote the game down in the Midlands. So he was a player coach for Nottingham.
Yeah.
Where the rugby league isn't very big, and I think for about 2 or 3 years they didn't win a game. Like, they just didn't have any players like wanting to play for them, so they didn't win a game. But my mum would go to every game shouting, like, apparently she was pregnant with me and George on the sideline, jumping up and down. And one of the wives was like, "Can you please stop? You're gonna give birth on the side of the field."
We're always destined to play with a mum like that.
We nearly came out born on the rugby pitch there. So, but no, you know, we were very fortunate to have you know, mum and dad that, you know, give us some great strong values, and I think it's probably why we're all sort of where we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
What about Ferthy? Like, he was out here beforehand, obviously.
Yeah, me and Ferthy actually lived together for 6 months in my early days in Sydney.
He tells me good stories about he had one hell of a milk run that's apparently...
he was a machine on that milk run. I used to see him running up and down in them crates. He's around Sydney.
Just getting the work done.
Get a toe to it.
It was a sight to behold, I tell you. He was in summer, just shirt off.
It was funny because these two both did milk runs as well when they were younger, and they had a milk guy, and it was this, like, a milk guy, my milk guy, which would have been 50 years old in Sydney, and their milk guy, which would have been the same in Bradford, and they used to say the same thing. He'd be like, "If you drop a bottle, just get a toe to it. At least it won't break, and it'll be sweet." And I was like, it was just like
English glass bottles.
Yeah, no, it were a good few years. I came over, moved in with Sam firstly, and then we lived together. Georgie moved over, we all lived together, and it was brilliant. It was the best way to, like, see Sydney and sort of get around and tick some boxes over here. We're good.
I was about that trip.
Tourist.
Yeah,
as a tourist.
That trip we came on when I was 18. Me and George came on holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wagga was here, and were you living here?
I just moved there.
You
I
just
picked
moved,
everyone up from the airport, all the lads at these two.
First used to
another
do the
couple of
airport
lads.
Yeah, so a lad that we both played with, Wayne Godwin, played with Fevsey, and sort of towards the end of his career I played with him as well. But that was sort of the start of our Australian adventure. We came on holiday and just like lived with all of us squeezed into Sam's apartment for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Living on air beds and stuff. And
It was on that holiday
real.
that we got asked to come play for South. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was it. Russell
went for a coffee down in the Rocks with Russell and his whatever. I think it was Errol at the time. Was it?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
And he said, "All right, boys, you want to play at this club or not?" And he gets offered us a contract there and then. And
that's another example of mindset. Like Russell's just like one of those blokes where if you want to do something, you just do it, and like if you say you're going to do it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we were still contracted to Bradford and all these sort of different logistics, and he was like, look, if you want to come, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
And George was like really keen, and 18, and I was sort of on the fence a bit. I wanted to sort of play in England for a bit more before I came. So George came and I stayed at 18, and that was it. Like I think the holiday was in October, and George moved here in December. He literally went home to get his bag, get his stuff.
I'll be back in a few weeks.
And you got here on Boxing Day.
That was New Year's Eve, 2010.
New Year's Eve,
And like you say, you made it happen. You all ended up over here. You all played together. You, Sam, Lou, all together in a game, and then you two and Sam played and won grand final in 2014.
Yeah,
Like you can't look back and be like, shit, maybe we should have stayed at home, or maybe. Yeah. And now, like you're here, families. Joe's got a couple of kids.
I got off a phone call to Andrew Curry, and I'm going to mention him every podcast because if he doesn't, we're hoping he's going to come into the family at some point.
I'll have to get him on the podcast.
We need him as a co-host.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Sponsor that.
But you can't see his hand gestures on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, we'd hear it anyway. Yeah. Well, I called him up and I said, "Can you tell me a bit about the boys?" And he went straight back to the grand final. I could hear tears. But who's like in his words, who turned the tide of the battle in the who scored the try?
That was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was
pretty good highlight.
It was what time is it now? But he was tearing up about 35 minutes ago about that.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
That'd
have to be a huge highlight. I mean, I didn't see the game, but like from Sam and from what you guys all did, that's
the fallout of all that. You start to realise and get your head around what impact that win for the club had on people's lives. People who support their team their whole life and not seeing them win. So the impact for Curry, you wouldn't have seen him win. So
no,
it was a massive, monumental thing for people who've grown up in that area and supported them, the team their whole life. And I didn't realise the impact that scoring that try would have on people. People come and speak to me today about it.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool, and tell me how they were crying when it happened and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice to
get another one now, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'll never be done again like it was in 14 because the way it went for so long, 43 years I think it was, and to get it like that was pretty crazy.
I suppose we don't want to replicate that. We're sort of chasing something different now, and that's different circumstances with what we've got this year. And I think I'm really excited about this year.
Does it feel weird or crazy to you guys how much like Sydney's embraced like you guys as a bunch of brothers, but also I don't think you can. Yeah, I've not seen it, but like it's just like you were born here. You just got funny accents.
Yeah. No, it is awesome the way that the Sydney population is embraced as a family, and the club as well has just made the transition really easy.
Yeah, we just love it out here, and I think you surround yourself with good people, and you're gonna have a good time. it just came out today. Actually, I signed another 4 years with
Yeah.
South.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
lad.
It's
I'm going to
awesome.
be there for a while, and we're all getting
all good news as well.
all getting our citizenship and stuff.
Honest.
Yeah, I'm having a baby
Saw that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
with
Double whammy.
with my girlfriend. So
Double whammy.
double.
Contract and baby.
Signed him straight away, baby
Yeah.
on the way, boom, yep, there's a
That's
pen.
but yeah, no. So it's all happening. Like I think George is obviously
Yeah, we're
pretty settled in now, aren't you?
I'm having a third baby as well, so there's Burgess babies flying around everywhere.
What's that like? I mean, for 2 kids, 1 on the way. How do you manage that? Training, football, time away.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to get on with it. I mean, Joanna, my wife, she does a great job with the kids, and
Yeah.
she's very happy, taking on that role of being a full-time mum and wife and all that. So I'm really lucky to have her in my life, and she's gonna definitely have her hands full with another one. But it'll be all hands on deck, I suppose, to get through, because we'll have three within 2 years.
Yeah.
It's funny. You ask our mum how she did it with 4. She had 4 under 5, and we said, "How did you do it?" She's like, "I don't know. You just do it." I think, and that, I suppose that is the key. You just just happens, and you just get on with life, and
yeah, it's inevitable. There's going to be some rough mornings where there's the sleepless nights, but you just gotta push through it and keep smiling.
It was funny. We were laughing at Julesy when he had his second. And he just kept saying beforehand how easy it was going to be, and he thought he literally forgot about those first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We were just like punched right in the face with no
I
sleep.
think you mentally just block it out, and then you're like, "Oh God, it's happening again."
well, women have a chemical, don't they, in the brain that blocks the pain. They forget about the pain of childbirth.
They bring it back though for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You rain it down on the husbands.
but they'd never have another one if they remember the actual pain.
No.
But
It's why the babies' heads are so big.
yeah.
Because it's biology's way of making you fall in love with them. Because otherwise, it's yeah.
Oh, they're not going to be small heads with us, are they?
Definitely not.
Boston's head's massive. My little boy.
Yeah.
Not fair.
It's good to, like they're saying, we all came over together more or less the same. We've all, including Sam and Biffa, have all got kids.
Yeah.
We're all like up at Russell's farm at Christmas,
Next
like
generation.
throwing the kids in the water, and you're like, shit. It's cool to all be over here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A
Mate.
bit different to when we first came. Beresford every weekend. Coffees every day.
Yeah,
On a
coffee at Clutzy's,
On a
beers in the
Sunday as well.
Yeah, but change, don't you?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
You
to.
gotta change.
Yeah.
First, he used to go to Mardi Gras now and again with me.
yeah. Went to a couple.
Chapters in life,
Good
innit?
times.
Yeah. What about moving forward? Like I got to speak to Sam a little bit last year, but in terms of what do you guys do on a daily basis to keep yourself so focused and wrap yourself head around training, family, recovery? Like, do you have something you do every day? Is there do you wake up and is there
I think that the key for it is to switch off when you get away from training.
Yeah.
Because you can just drive yourself crazy if you're at home thinking about training and stuff like that. So, one thing that Wayne's really big on, and he said it's number one priority for him, is to make sure all the players in the club and staff included have something they have away from training that they can be
Yeah, like an
hooked
interest.
by, and just take their mind away, because it's a long season, and if you don't have anything, it's going to be even longer. So yeah, we always try to find something to do. And
I think that was a really key thing he said. He won it this year. He's got up in front of the players and said he wants everyone to have at least one interest outside of footy that you got on your day off. Because he reckons it's his 43rd pre-season or something, and he said it's the key to his success is having an interest outside of footy. Like, is his farming? Like, he has a farm.
Yeah.
He puts effort into that, and he said if you feel like you don't have time, that you're just lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And he says people that tell us the most lies are ourselves. and it's pretty true. Like you said, everyone's got time. If you think you're just being lazy. So a really strong message there. And I think that's one thing that I'm going to sort of start looking into. As I'm getting older. What I'm doing outside of football and what sort of can take my mind away from it. So yeah, I think
I started acting this year, which is cool.
What have you done?
Well, last year I did a movie. First thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I played a small role in a movie, which is a friend's movie. He wrote the screenplay. And this year I'm doing a couple of plays, like small musical plays.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, we're spending a fair
way
bit
to go watch it.
Fair bit of time rehearsing.
Yeah.
Stunt double.
Working hard. You don't realise how much work goes into rehearsing these things, especially stage performances. With all the movements and stuff you do. It's definitely I appreciate what those guys do, and it's cool to learn it as well.
Yeah. But going back to what you said, I just say, I think ignorance is bliss sometimes. Especially, I mean, you've got to be switched on when you're at training, and obviously, when you come away from training, you've got to reflect on what's happened at training and think about what you could have done better. But once you sort of, it's your day off or you're at home with your wife and kids or whatever, you really have got to just try not to talk about it and not put your mind somewhere else.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's a really good key for us.
I think that kind of thing helps when you retire as well, when there is no more footy. It's like if all you've done is consume yourself with footy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when you finish, it's like there's this massive hole. Whereas if you're getting into a bit of acting or you start, like for me, I started obviously doing a bit of work in the gym and all that kind of thing. It's like when you retire, it kind of, you roll on to like phase 2 of your life rather than shit, what am I going to do now? I think that's and like you say, it helps through the career. I can totally see that, because if you're just constantly thinking about the same thing all the time, you end up, whether it be positive or negative, it's not a good thing. It's a good bit of sort of third space.
Yeah, speak to anyone who's retired, they'll probably say the same thing.
I think that's what I got when I found out I had one. I found out I got a child.
Yeah.
I've only got one. But yeah, one of the guys from work said to me, like, his biggest regret was not being around more and not being more present all the time. So his biggest advice was that if he had his time around again, he'd cut it and leave. Or just go home and actually be present, pay more attention, because you can't get any of those years back. Same guy also said, I think I whinged one day at work and just said, like, fuck, it's getting hard, I'm not getting much sleep. And he's nodding and nodding. He's like, yep, right. He said, now shut up and just take it. It's all on you. And that's it. Which really, we were talking about the other day how tough it is on us, because clearly it's the hardest job, raising a child for a guy. But you've only got to look at how tough the girls do it. Yeah, I know. I was joking, everyone. It's one of the toughest things in the world, But look, you got any advice you pass on
for new dads?
Yeah.
Just like I said, just to enjoy it.
George is very laid back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key. I think you have to be laid back. If you get too stressed, it's just going to do you in.
Yeah.
So you have
Goes
to
on to the kids, doesn't it? I reckon.
Yeah, just take everything with a pinch of salt. The kid's going to annoy you maybe sometimes, but you just got to realise that every day for them is a learning opportunity, and that's what life should be like. And it's exciting for kids to go out into the world every day and learn something new. That's the way I look at it. So I just try not to get too, and you're gonna have those nights where they wake up during the night, but you're just gonna kind of.
That's why we do
take a few deep breaths and
to prepare for that.
Yeah. And training wise, like off season or anything like that, what do you guys do? Like, how long would you have off, because you play international as well? How does that? Do you have 5 weeks, 6 weeks? What's the downtime?
Yeah, about that. I mean, it can be different. Obviously, it's different for every player, and as you get older, they probably, look at that. How many they actually go off how many pre-seasons you've done as a player, and they work out your time off through that. But Yeah, since I moved here in 13, I played international rugby league at the end of every season. So my time off's always been the same. It's like December, and then I come back in January. But yeah, it's hard because it's such a long year, and then you want to just do nothing for a little bit, but you can't. So when you're playing international, so you just got to keep training. Like, fortunately, we've got you lads down at the gym, and came in a few times to just tick over and just get your sweat on and get your heart rate up there. But
does it take a toll on the mind as well? Like trying to come back every year and again and again?
Mentally, I think it's really important to kind of go away, have 2 weeks away at least from the sport and from training, just with your family or your friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you need that, and then you can start thinking about getting into some training again and getting your diet right again. But yeah, that blowout's important. Yeah, 2 weeks at least.
I think you've had a blowout for a while. Yeah.
Me, yeah, I've had a full solid
12 months.
6 weeks at least.
Oh, sorry, not 12 months.
I'm back now.
How good are you feeling though? Mentally just
Fresh.
It's not fair, is it, though, how the body works? How the body works, not fair, is it? If you take so long to get to a point of fitness, and then
it should definitely work in the way you put a lot of work in. You should be able to drink a lot more beer. That should be the way it works. Yeah.
It takes an hour to burn off 500 calories, but 1 minute to put it back on.
Yeah.
Like for you two, what's your motivation to train?
I'm just trying to stem the flow of like age and weakness. That's it for me. Yeah. I guess like you guys, I've trained pretty much my entire life, and it's something that makes me feel good. I don't do yoga, so that's my idea of mindfulness.
That's it. Yeah. I think it's so important, isn't it? Like for us, we take it for granted probably because we do it all the time. But I think once you actually stop training, you miss it. And
I remember saying when we were playing, like, and it's like, you're doing Malcolms and up and downs on the field and running around it. You're like, when I retire, that's it. I'm going to do nothing for at least a year, 2 years. Maybe I'll start swimming. And I think, like you were saying, when you finish as well, you miss the high of training with the lads or playing a game. And so, like for me, playing football, training. That's what it is. You get to train with the lads a little bit like we used to when we played, and then tick some good numbers off or whatever. That might give you a bit of a.
It's probably the hardest thing, I reckon. You miss the, maybe not the games or the travel or anything, but you miss like the guys. You miss the training. You miss the laughs, and then and then the things that come along with that, the physicality of it all, which which is great. I've been getting messages off Spud since he's been laid up as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure going crazy.
He's just like loses it.
What's that? What's he doing? Is that
an ankle fuse?
Yeah, he's had his ankle fused.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's off it.
He rang me today. He's on a scooter.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got a scooter.
Stay clear of Spud at this moment. Man possessed.
Oh yeah. But
we should have a feed soon and just fly him up.
Yeah.
I'll race.
When I phoned in a friend, Andrew Curry, before, and he brought up the fact that how well you guys take all the criticism. He actually thought that you guys seem to carry a lot of the weight and the criticism of the team throughout the year, and he's always impressed with South. That's I think you could all be serial killers. I think he said that's okay. But what he said was the fact that the way you guys handle the pressure and handle the negative, not necessarily the positive, is what makes you guys so great.
Yeah, it's something you think you probably learn over time to deal with. I think, I suppose, like, we're fortunate. We've just always had really good people, in our ear and telling us, it's not. You sort of take the good with the bad and all those sort of cliches, but you really have got to. You can't buy into it. Anything really. I mean, you've just got to listen to the coach, your teammates, and that's all that matters really. I mean, you can speak to people on the street and have an open mind, or listen to people on the internet or whatever. But you've just got to sort of let it wash over you. One thing I've really liked since living here is the mindfulness. And being present and all that really helps with dealing with that sort of stuff. And just being able to train your mind to be able to react to things, because everyone has these feelings. That's human. You know, you get feelings of anger and all that stuff, but you can't be blamed for that because that's normal. But how you react, you can be.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think you can actually train yourself to react in a way where you don't need to give a response. You just,
No, that's right. Yeah.
just go on with your job and you only worry about what you can control.
Nice.
Excellent.
Well, as always, Chris has had a lot to say. I think he promised today to say a lot more.
I said co-host. I'll be a
That's
better
right.
co-host.
Right. Yeah, I've been rubbing my leg under the table.
Questions.
Yeah.
Word association.
What training are you doing today? You two?
I did some chest and back. I think that's the only thing, because we can wear long pants. I don't need to train legs anymore.
Arms, chest, never mind the rest.
Yeah, back and buys.
I did a little bit of 98 energy system development. I'm similar to you guys. I've got to do plenty of breathing stuff, otherwise I can get fairly heavy.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the bike for a bit.
We did a watt bike session this morning. It was pretty tasty.
Got the lactic in the legs.
Yeah.
You do 3 minutes max, and then you work out. Your 100% wattage, 85% wattage, and 75%.
Yeah.
So then you do that for 3 minutes, 100%, and then you go back 2 minutes at 85, and then 3 minutes at 85, and then 2 minutes at 75%.
Yeah.
And then you just keep doing that all the way, and then you finish off with a few 1 minute 100% at the end, and you just
Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweating buckets, won't we? We didn't expect that this morning. But it's in the altitude room as well.
In the bank.
So altitude and heat. So
How often are you spending in the altitude room a week?
a few sessions, a few cardio sessions a week.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Nice.
but that's on top of the
Some awesome science coming about that. That's looks really good.
Yeah, no, it's good in there. I mean, you definitely feel better for it. And
It's quite uncomfortable in there, which is good. Trains you to be good in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. Quickly, you just came back from a little camp as well, and there was some spiders and snakes, and Wayne organised that.
Yeah, and I always like to do a bit of a introduction army camp with a new group. So it was a bit of a last minute. I wasn't back training yet. We both weren't, and he asked us to come along and throw ourselves in the deep end.
we'll look after you. We'll look after you. Yeah, it's more just about team building.
It was a rough 48 hours, but we got through it together as a team. It was good, and we got some good team building stuff out of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just about the resilience.
And
you'll always look back on it through the year. So that's why we wanted to go on it, just because a lot of times you reflect on that, like, imagine the camp. It's not as hard as the camp.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So it's hard whilst you're doing it, but when you look back, you think, it was 2 days of madness, and you got through it. So
Brown snakes, funnel web spiders, mosquitoes were just like.
You're not going to see them like Homebush.
I didn't really get why we had to be camping with all those guys as well. I suppose it helped somehow.
Resilience for sure.
Yeah, the first thing we did, we got there, we jogged about 3k to get to the camp, set the camp up, and then they said, right, 20 minutes, we need to be down in this field. It's like a cow field.
Yeah.
Full of cow pats. Just everywhere. And then there's 3 lanes of gear. So there's like logs, like water containers, everything. And you're in three groups, and you say, right, your group's got to pick a lane, and you like start looking at the gear. You're like, which one's got the heaviest log?
Yeah.
Which one's got the most water in the can? Because they're all different.
Didn't matter though.
But at the end of it, they're all hard.
The funniest thing is at the start you're bear crawling on the grass in the field, and you're like trying to keep away from the cow shit. But then at the end of the 3 or 4 hours, you're just like crawling through the cow shit. Don't care if you're just covered in cow shit.
I think we did about 20 Ks carrying this stuff as a team, and it was just like this log would have weighed, I reckon, easy 150 kilos.
Yeah.
And you got a plank across it, and you got to deadlift it up and run with it.
It's about 6 men to carry it. well, run with it. Yeah.
by the end of it, my fingers were just ruined.
Yeah.
Like you say, you can
Fun
always go
stuff.
back on that through the year, can't you?
Fun stuff.
Yeah. You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh well, we're not running 20k.
We've got no gear on our backs.
Yeah,
Now.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you're running, you're free to run. Just your body weight.
All right, fellas. Well, thanks so much for coming in. We really enjoyed it. We appreciate you had a busy schedule and everything, so we appreciate you coming
Thanks
in.
for having us, lads.
So having us on the second
Cheers,
installment.
lads.
Second,
Yeah.
yeah.
Podcast.
Number 2.
And we'll next time we'll get Corey in for a sneaky bit.
We need a
You
couple
can
of hours
do
for that.
Special,
You can do
special
the word
guest.
association.
Yeah. It might be a lot of words like love. Yeah.
Get us back on soon, eh?
We will. Yeah. Thanks a lot, fellas.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.